Good morning, scholars. It is Friday, March 27th, 2020, and I hope you are having a great start of your day. This is Mr. Marambo coming at you with more 7th grade science. In particular, today we are going to conclude your organism projects and end our lesson on ecosystem organization. Before getting started, I want to commend each of you for completing the reflection assignment yesterday. I was reading your responses and I didn't know we had such a variety of organisms each one of us decided to do our project on. From a black-footed ferret to a golden retriever to even one of my own favorite animals, the red panda, we each had a diverse set in each class of organisms to choose from. But again, these presentations, each of your peers' presentations is still available for you. So if you still want to go back and learn about an organism and how it interacts with its different levels of the ecosystem, you're more than welcome to look back at those files. But that's just as a side note. Let's go ahead and look at today's assignment. Students will be able to explain how an organism affects different levels of an ecosystem. Now, this was our focus question at the beginning of the lesson, and we're returning back to it in order to close our lesson on ecosystem organization. Your first step is to view and follow the daily instructional video, which is what you're watching right now. In fact, I suggest that you must be viewing these videos every single day because it will help you guide through the day's activities. Step 2 is to refer to your notes on ecosystem organization and to your own ecosystem project. I ask you to have these handy because the next step is important. It's to open the quiz, which is attached right over here, and watch the video on population growth. This video is not too long, it's about 3 minutes, but it's about how many people can fit on Earth. This will begin to help us thinking about, okay, I know what the levels of an ecosystem are. Why are they important to understand? And we talked about this in the last video, Thursday's video. In order for us to predict how to adapt in the future, it's important to understand how organisms interact with one another, biotic and abiotic factors at different levels of an ecosystem. Once we know those interactions, predator versus prey, these organisms consume this, then we'll be able to understand, okay, how can I as a species, how do we survive at years to come? And now that we've watched this video, our last step is to complete and submit this quiz. Go ahead and read this quiz very carefully. Instructions say to complete everything below, use the definitions of terms in your response. And what I mean of this is when it asks you what is a habitat, put the definition of habitat down. We should already have this in our notes or at least remember it from a couple readings back ago. And for example, how does a human, you, depend on its habitat? We should be using the definition of what a habitat is. Another one of these examples is how do you, a human, affect the community? And we're not talking about just the community that we think socially. We're talking about the definition of what a community means. And once you're finished with that quiz, go ahead and submit and you are done for the day. And there we have it. We finished ecosystem organization and learning the fundamentals of how our ecosystems are organized. This will set us up for next week, in which we will talk about the ethics of what this means in order to organize our Particularly, it will be important to think about, okay, if these two organisms are interacting at different levels, how is it going to affect the species? How is it going to affect other organisms, biotic, abiotic factors in the world around us? And these are very large questions. I don't expect us to have all the answers to, but it's important to think about it as scientists because these are the real world challenges we'll face in the future. But we won't get there just yet. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, I have some of you subscribed. Make sure to like it. I need more visibility on my YouTube channel. And Hope you have a great weekend, a safe weekend, and most of all, keep yourselves healthy. Bye-bye, y'all.